Good afternoon, one and all. I am Dr. S. Viswananadha Raju, Professor in CSC and Head, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad. So I am going. So today my topic is related to higher education. I think what I heard from the different experts, that is related to the, I think most of the content is high school or schools, primary school section, but this is related to the higher education. So I think it would be very useful for the country, and it is coming to the, for the global economy also. So in this aspect, I'm going to discuss several points. So this is what my content is going through that. One is the introduction part and quality assurance and accreditation, international environment for higher education, quality enhancement in higher education through ICT, and finally I will conclude with a few comments. I think if they can implement all those comments, it could be better for the society and the global economy also. So in this, I think higher education is playing a pivotal role in the knowledge society, globalized economy. Higher education is facing a lot of problems. What about the quality assurance and also sustaining in the quality of the education, and e-governance also not properly maintaining. Accreditation also is very important. Assessment is a goal-oriented process only, but goal-oriented is always, it is I think not good, but that what they have to do mainly, they have to concentrate what the process is there. In the process, is there any problematic, or in the process is doing the properly by manually. I think some of the times that is maybe doing by the manually, it is many problems are there. They are collecting the data from different avatars. So what they are collecting that information, one time they are getting one type of information, the second time the same information they are not getting, that is the problem in the higher education. So that's what I am going to suggest. That is the best tool is what ICT management tool. Once if you go for the ICT management tool, I think you can get the information every time, the similar kind of information only, but you not get the different avatars information. So that is the major intention here, I am going to present it. And through assessment, educators meet responsibilities to our students and to the public also. So what I observed as my experience, because of I worked in the private institutes and also in the university, previously, earlier I worked in the school also, I found several mistakes are there. I think I could not say it is a mistake, it is a doing by the people. The fraud is going on. I think that we are observing in the world, coal fraud or maybe something, 2G spectrum and other things. But in education system also, this is happening in the India, I think. As of my experience, I am telling. Because of, I worked in the private institute and also I worked in government institutes. I am acting as expert faculty member of NBA, AICT, UGC and all the members. So in this aspect, I have collected the information. This is, first we have to think about that, what is the things are going on in the India. So we have to concentrate on this rather than going for the new methodology. That is my suggestion, sir. Next point is different institutes, countries have developed different avatars to quality standards. Why you see that in India, I observed NAC is having some avatara and NBA is having some different methodology and other people also having some different methodology. Why we have to create these many methodologies for the education system itself? One system is enough, I think. Once if they go for the one type of system, that is good for the higher education. What they are saying, NAC is for college, NBA is for branch, and other one is for what? Whole system. So what they are doing, the people are misguiding these people. Who are the misguiding? The private institutes or maybe government institutes also maybe. That's what they are doing, sir. So this is a very serious problem in India. So everyone is talking about to improve the technology or to improve the quality, all these things, how it could achieve, not by introducing new methodology, by implementing this what they want to think. That is, has to taken by the care of what policy makers. I think I observed recently 5 bills have been introduced in the parliament. Those bills were passed in the parliament. Still it is pending in the Rajya Sabha. Why we are not bothering about all these bills? We are thinking about ourselves only for the getting something. That's what we have to do. You see that the similar kind of what we have to do, we have to propose to the policy makers what bill is required for us. No one is taking care of that. No one is taking suggestions from the education institutes. But whoever is in the top level, they are taking their decisions and simply implementing, that's all. Because of that, the quality is not there. The rules are excellent in India, no doubt about it. The framework is excellent, but the only thing is lack of seriousness in the public. And the accreditation and assessment are very important in order to maintain the quality of education in any nation. This system is very important. Accreditation is, I think, American invention which plays two major roles, and mainly that is for to detect what the fraud, and also it could be possible to eliminate and prevent. Also, it is possible by accreditation. So that accreditation is very important in our education system. It is going to identify and also to sustain the system. And you see that this is what I said already. I observed even in universities or in schools also. When I visited one district, in that district the collector was suggested to the teachers. So you have to maintain the minimum pass percentage. He has suggested only that minimum pass percentage means 95 pass percentage. Whatever the mechanisms you apply, but you want to show to me on a document 95% pass. How it is possible to achieve? You know that in the public, various category people are there, various mindset people are there. How it is possible to achieve? What they are doing, the teachers or whatever it is. But they want to show their talent to the collector. So what they are showing? Simply some tips they are applied, and finally anyhow they are getting 95% pass percentage. That is our goal. But I think it is not the correct goal. What is the process that is very important that has to do in India. So next point, sir. With our experience in the education system in India, the most important aspect, lack of seriousness implemented. One example, my experience I'll give. I submitted a proposal for the research project, and then what they did, no? For the correspondence, it takes around 3.5 months only to send a letter, to get a letter, not for the acceptance. Lack of what? The seriousness of the ICT technology. So I'm going to suggest to the government that it has to take very seriously about to include ICT as a department of higher education in every institute. ICT, management tool and other things also, I think. Like a CSE branch is there and other branches are there. Like they can introduce this also, like a science and humanities one branch is there. I think some department is there. Like that they can introduce this also as a department. Once if it is there in the university, they can ask, some of the people may question it. That's what. Even I see that, I found in several universities, who is the expert, who is who, and who is going to guide to me in the certain area. I am not able to find in universities, lack of these facilities only. They are hiding the data. What is the use of hiding the data? You have to put your information in web. Then everybody can contact, everybody can access, everybody can contribute something. That is not there in India mainly. Everything is confidential. The confidential, what it is giving? The confidential, what about? It is not going to give to the country. It is going for the what? For himself only, but I think that could not helpful for the country. What they have done, that they have to put it in a web. That is not there in India. Even you see that MTech and PhD students are pursuing that. What about PhD students are pursuing what about they are doing the research in that work? But even though their title, at least it is not there in the website. Their title is not there in the website. How could I believe it? Is it genuine or is it fake or is it not? Something. That seriousness is not there in UGC also. That's what they have to think first. Once they seriously think about that, then automatically quality assurance is there. And our government policy making bodies, policy enforcement bodies should get information that is absolutely true. What I observed in my village itself. They appointed teachers for collecting the population data. When they collected the data, what the data they collected, you know that, no? They have sent some people, they collected blindly some information they added. That's what it is going on in India. I'm not blaming the teachers, please. They have to appoint special members for that information. That is a very important data. Even you see that recently they introduced the Aadhaar system. The Aadhaar system is mainly for what? To sustain, to secure the people only. But what we are commenting, but this is still, it is a 50% level. Definitely it will be success once after 5 to 10 years, I think, I hope. Once it will be success, I think the national security is very easy to every Indian, the biometric system. Why I am saying that is what, no? Even you see that I observed so many fake degrees are coming out. Why? They are saying what some emblem is there on the top of the mark sheet, but that also easy to frame it. But once they introduce the biometric system, I think it is easy to avoid that problem. What biometric Irish or something in every certificate also. That has to do in the country. But those things are not thinking by our policy makers. What they are doing for themselves, they are doing all these things. Member of parliament or maybe member of whatever it is. That's what I am suggesting. And next point is, ICT is, I think I told you that is what it is going to give to us to bring reliable, efficient, scalable, transparent, reducing the risks of conflict interest, and then developing standards and codes of practice. These are the going to get it through the ICT. And next one, sir, the accreditation and assessment process of courses have become mandatory and dynamic in the quality assurance of higher education. That has to do the mandatory. I think as Kapil Sibal has introduced the bill also, that is still in a pending in Rajya Sabha. Fast 2.5 years. What is the reason? That is not for themselves, that is for us only. So what we have to do as academicians, we have to put a query to Rajya Sabha member parliament every time. Letter, by mail or something is there, everything. And several factors are there said by this. I think you can go through this. And see that the rapid growth of engineering and technology education globally require the proper maintenance of academic quality in educational institutes in order to withstand competition in the global market. Is it? Well-structured accreditation model to assess engineering courses for the quality assurance. At the same time, how far it is implementing, that is also very important, sir. So quality assurance should cover the academic affairs of the institutions relating to courses, staff, academic, research, academic advisor, decision-making mechanisms, services, facilities, and support of academic processes, sir. And this is what you see that, I think not that much time is not there. Quality assurance, you know that it has some specific definition. It is the systematic approach, a systematic process. Accreditation, you know that it is a process of assessment. And quality, you know that context of the higher education can be defined as a judgment. I think quality is nothing but judgment. Next, Washington Accord, I think it is there. For our degree, we are not getting equivalence outside. It is, why we have to study again in outside? When we are getting here degree is what? BTech in computer science and engineering or some other discipline. But still what we need to do? Lack of international exposure. So that the American and Switzerland, they introduced one scheme that is what? Washington Accord. Once we get a membership in Washington Accord, I think we also can get a equivalency with other country degrees. That's what we have to look. For that, for the sake of that, the Kapil Sibal has introduced one bill, but still it is in a pending. How far it takes? Once if we'll go out from this, then who will look into that? Nobody is there to take care about that. That's what we need to think now. And quality is the utmost concern for all engineering educators. To assure quality engineering education, accreditation of courses by certified body is a must, sir. Accreditation is a buzzword nowadays in the world. That is what. So technical manpower from one country to another made people realize the need for international mechanism to ensure minimum acceptability level of quality of technical education. So accreditation mainly for the what? Minimum acceptance quality only. Not. And the criteria for accreditation cover three important areas. One is input parameter, processing parameters, output indicators, you see that. And NBA has introduced an excellent scheme in the recently. I think that could be better for us. And at the same time, they have to take very seriousness on that, how far it could be implemented with technology, not by manual. So now we see that the manual process is, I think it is very difficult to manage because of, you see that in our Andhra Pradesh, 780 colleges are there in engineering streamline. How it is possible to do by manually? Only in a university, how many are there now? Only 250 faculty members are there. How it is possible? Not for one faculty, one college. That is easy to implement it. So they have to insist. I think I have put a query also to the MHRD. So why don't you take it seriously about the ICT concept? That is what. National Board Accreditation has been introduced. Education Summit held in Washington on 14th October 2011 and there was some discussion between the two. So because of that, now India also is moving in the direction of the international accreditation only. And I am very happy with that bill also, I think. Once if it will come out, our degree also will get a equivalent to outside country. Then our children will not get a trouble. That's what. These are the things. ICT, I think. So ICT increases the flexibility of delivery of education so that learners can access knowledge anytime and from anywhere also. Once ITG will come, then it is what digital divide process. So ICT is an umbrella, I can say it is it. So once we go for that. So go through that please, the time is not there. So I think almost over. So my conclusion is, sir, I want to conclude it with a few points by observing all these experts. So I think teaching learning, they have to introduce as a subject in the higher education also. Why that is required only for the primary school teachers only. When they want to get an opportunity as a teacher, they have to go through the first BED or TTC, teacher training course. That is there for primary school teachers. But why they have not introduced this subject for the higher education system also? It is not there nowhere in India. So that there is no motivation for the teaching. So that has to introduce. That is one suggestion, teaching learning subject also. And the next point is ICT, what I already told you, information communication technology, they have to introduce as a part of curriculum itself. All these two things they have to introduce as a part of curriculum, not as a separate. That's what. And my another one is, I observed most of the universities doesn't have any technology for the management. Lack of this management technology, the processing taking around sometimes 6 to 12 months. So these three things seriously they have to take. Once if these three things they can introduce, definitely the India can sustain, can improve the quality of education. Rather than going for the new methodology, I'm going to suggest this is point. What we are looking always is see that when you buy a cell, how many features you are able to use? How many people are using all the features, you tell me? I think 10% of the people are using all the features, 90% people are using only few features only. That is the best example for our. So that what we need to do, we have to take the seriousness by these three parameters. I think definitely, I hope we'll get it. What about quality? I think when I interact with the German people, what they're looking, quality coding is required. But our Indian people are doing better than them, but not that much quality. The quantity is there. That's what we have to do. We have to follow these three. Then automatically it will come up the quality. Thank you, one and all.
Any questions? Please. Okay. I think backtrack discussions are very important as far as any forum is concerned and more productive. And definitely I would request all the people who are present here to have a backtrack communication or backtrack discussions, and this would enable each one of us to really identify the core issues as far as higher education or school education or education sector per se is concerned. And I thank Dr. Raju for giving a very useful information as far as accreditation and assessment of education, quality of education is concerned. And I congratulate him for his particular presentation on assessment of the quality standards in the education scenario. But then one tricky thing about assessment of education in our country is concerned, which comes to my mind, is that education comes under both it comes under concurrent list. That means the state governments are also responsible and central government are also responsible. So if Kapil Sibal introduces some kind of bill on quality assurance or making it mandatory, the state governments which are opposing politically him in the parliament would say, no, this is not acceptable for this particular state. So it becomes difficult for the policy makers to make it mandatory for for the schools or colleges, and then probably this is for you. I think it is at this juncture that all the accrediting agencies should come forward for suggesting state-specific as well as central-specific policy recommendations for accreditation. This is my suggestion and submission for this particular house. And another thing is, should we think of really going in for recommending that legislation should be made mandatory for accreditation of all the schools and colleges? Should we make it as a recommendation?
Yes.
Right. I think I've noted it down.
There was no way, which is exactly what's happening in India today. And probably not in India, it's happening all around the world, including the US.
So more transparency in the accreditation. Right?
No, just put it specifically. If you like, I can design a system by which they can put all this information. So we have the correct data, they don't miss out the crucial details. We can design that system with some help from your students.
I think we can take help of Raju for going for such kind of.
Recently, I attended for the conference that is conducted by NBA people. In that, I spoke about the academic fraud. Most of the higher authority people, what they said, no, I think this is not the direction to express, but you have to say in indirect. Why should I say in indirect? Something is going in the system. But by that is also major problem from the higher authority. We have to convince them. That is the major thing.
So I talked about the 3 waves and I talked about change. The biggest problem to change is what? I mean, let's just, anybody guess what's the biggest problem in change? Power shift. Power can get money. Money, you know, can get a lot more things. If you have power, we have money, you can get a lot of things. If you have power, you can also get money, which is called corruption. When we are changing from one system, first wave or second wave to third wave, the power is getting shifted. If any of you want to study, all of you have PhDs, I happen to be a plain graduate, so I'm absolved of this responsibility. Study Toffler, study first future shock, study third wave as to what could happen, study revolutionary wealth, which talks about what's happening today. He talks about a lot of things happening today. And most important, especially for you, sir, study, he's written a whole volume on power shift. How is power shifting and how will power shift? Half your question, at least your framework will be set for. That's one. And I can only suggest one thing is, if we can all, I mean, I'll be more than happy to conduct a virtual seminar or a mock or whatever you want to call it, regarding Toffler and these waves, and how can we do transformation management to the 21st century. You can use me as a resource.
Definitely. We look forward. Thank you, Dr. Raju, for giving such a lovely presentation on accreditation.